Hey guys, this is my cousin Mike. I'm so excited and proud of him. He joined freaking CrossFit about 5 or 6 weeks ago and has made tremendous gains. And more than that, so proud that he's prioritizing fitness in his lifestyle, and we can share that together now. So, super awesome, super proud.
What she said. Weight has been something I've always struggled with my whole life, pretty much since I was about 6 years old. I've had an unhealthy relationship with food pretty much, and ever since I can remember, like, I've always pretty much been like the fat kid in school, you know, around my group of friends and everything. And I remember my mom put me like in my first weight loss program probably when I was like in the 5th grade, and I dropped weight, and like everything, you know, every fad diet out there, pretty much up and downs, up and downs, up and downs. 2002, I got to my heaviest weight, 420 pounds, and I had a gastric bypass. I went down from 420 pounds to 237 pounds within a year. No working out whatsoever, just not eating pretty much, you know, like I was able to eat like a small portion. And like I said, I've always had an unhealthy relationship with food, where even though I couldn't eat, like I would go serve myself food, and it was like the same big plate of food that I was used to serving myself, but I'd have like 2 spoonfuls and I was pretty much full at that point. But I still lost the weight, and then over time, it's pretty much just been like every muscle that you work out. You know, you want to get big biceps, you work out your biceps. Well, I worked out the wrong muscle. I pretty much ate what I was eating was like a couple bites out of a pizza. That grew into like half a slice, a whole slice, 2 slices, 3 slices. I worked out the wrong muscle, and over time I gained weight. I thought that, you know, gastric bypass was the answer. It was going to be like the magic pill. I was going to drop to the way I wanted, and it was going to stay off, and it didn't. You know, went through some stuff in my life. My dad got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer from one day to the next. I basically moved him into my house. I became his caregiver. It was the toughest 6 to 7 months of my whole entire life. I lost him in January of 2020, and it took a toll on me. Like, literally, I was his caregiver. I pretty much had to do everything for him. You know, somebody that 6'1", you know, 200 pounds of dead weight, and me having to pull all that. And it was just, you know, pretty much it all fell on me because I don't have any siblings or anything, anybody to help me out with that. At the same time, we had the pandemic, and pretty much I just kind of ate away my feelings. I literally was just eating. My day-to-day was I would wake up, I would sleep in till about 10:30 or so, just sit in bed and be like, what do I want to eat for breakfast? Oh, I'll probably go to Mickey D's. You know, what am I going to grab for lunch? I'll do my errands, you know, do stuff for my work or whatever. And I was always on the run, always like, oh, let me go grab food. My food was not the healthiest options. It wasn't chicken and broccoli. It was pretty much McDonald's, Burger King, pizza. You know, let me go to a restaurant for lunch, and then for dinner at the same time, you know, afterwards. Like, it was tough. It was like the worst feeling that it's pretty much an addiction. You know, people have an addiction with alcohol, with drugs. I had it with food. You know, like if somebody we had people over and we're like, oh, what do you guys want to, you know, we're hanging out. What do you guys want to eat? Let's go grab McDonald's or whatever. I'd be the person to go grab everything while everybody stays behind, you know, and I'd have a list of orders. Okay, everybody wants combination, this, that, whatever. I'd be the one to be like, okay, I want a combo, and then besides that, I'm gonna get a double cheeseburger and a McChicken. I'd eat that double cheeseburger McChicken on my way home, get home, and I had pretty much a meal, and everybody's like, man, why are you so heavy? You eat the same thing as us. I was like, I don't know. I just probably, you know, I don't work out as much or whatever, you know, so it's been a struggle my whole entire life. Back in April, I literally just, from one day to the next, I remember I went to a family gathering, and I'm Cuban, come from a Cuban family, and as Hispanics, they don't mean bad, but you go to a family gathering and they look at you and they're like, man, you've gotten fat, you know, or hey, you're too skinny, you need something to eat, you know. So it's always been like that, and they don't mean wrong by it, you know. They love you and they just kind of say it. So I remember I went to a family gathering. It was just like a barbecue. It was in April, and I remember they were like, man, you've gained a lot of weight. And I told myself that day that the next time I go to a family gathering, that was not going to be the same comment that I hear. And I made it a point to start something. I did keto diet. I dropped, I don't know, 25, 30 pounds pretty quickly. But I just felt sluggish. I felt like shit. I was eating high fat, low protein, and pretty much no carbs. Like, I didn't have energy. You know, I wasn't working out, I wasn't doing anything. I just lost weight. And to me, it's been what the scale says. And mentally, I've learned that it's not what the scale says, it's how you feel and what your body looks like. So I joined a program with First Form, and you know, they told me, hey, listen, just go ahead and I want you to count your macros of what you eat right now. And that to me was like the hardest thing. I was like, count macros, that's gonna waste my whole day here. But I said, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna stick to the plan, I'm gonna do it. I had a trainer, dietitian, nutritionist. Her name is Meg. She's awesome. She helped me out through the process. After a week, she's like, okay, you're gonna eat this much protein, this much calories, this much carbs. And for the first time in my life, you know, I saw a diet that it wasn't a diet, it was a lifestyle. You know, I can eat carbs. You know, I was like, I can fit things into my macros. And so I started doing it. A week into it, they decided to announce, we're gonna do a summer challenge. Summer challenge, $50,000 to the winner. And I lost some weight, not a ton, but I started going to the gym from the day that I joined that First Form. I started going to the gym, working out. But I'm not a gym person. I don't like going to the gym. To me, I don't go with anybody. I'm just by myself. It bores me to death to be there for an hour and a half focusing on 1 to 2 muscle groups. But I made it a point to still stick to it. And the challenge ended. I didn't win, somebody else won, and it kind of lit that fire in me. You know, I can tell you all the things that'll be motivational, and it's awesome, it's motivating, but it only lasts 30 minutes a day, 2 days before you lose it. You have to find that inner fire in you. And so my inner fire was, I lost the challenge, and I don't like losing. I'm very competitive, and I'll give it my all no matter what. And so I lost the challenge, and when I saw that I lost to someone, I was like, I'm beating it, and I'm gonna go above and beyond whatever, you know, they did or the previous people did. So I started 75 Hard, which is a program that they put together. Basically, drink a gallon of water a day, read 10 pages of a book a day, stick to a diet, no alcohol, no drinks, no cheating on your diet, take a progress picture every day, and 2 45-minute workouts a day. They can't be back to back. So I said, if I'm gonna win this fall challenge, I'm gonna do it the right way. So I did 75 Hard, and I kind of calculated where I kind of knew when the fall challenge was gonna start, more or less within a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And luckily, my 75 Hard program ends the same day that the fall challenge ends. And so, which is first week of December. And I said, I gotta take my working out to a whole nother level. So I came to Freakin' Fitness here in Weston, and I had been here in the past for a little bit and didn't stick to it too much. And so now I'm like, balls to the wall. I come here every day, Monday through Friday. And it's honestly taken me to the next level. You know, anytime you tell anybody, hey, you're doing CrossFit, everybody freaks out. They're like, I can't do that. They've never tried it. They can't do it, you know, or they say, oh, that's horrible for you. And, you know, it's you have to give it a try. Everybody tells me, oh, I can't do it because I have a bad back, bad knees. Like, I honestly get here, I look at the workouts, and I'm like, there's no way I can do it. But, you know, I ask whoever my coach is, what's my scale down? You know, and if you're one to not be able to do certain things because you have a back condition, knees, whatever, they scale it down. And if you can't do the scale down, they'll scale down even further or do a different movement that'll help strengthen certain parts of your body. So it honestly has increased like my weight loss, obviously, but it's increased like the momentum I have for working out. I haven't gone to the gym in weeks, and I went with a friend of mine, and I was sitting on a bench just doing dumbbell workouts, and I was doing maybe 20-25 pounds on a bench press. I started coming here, and it's not like I come here and I focus sitting down on a bench with a barbell and just focus on bench pressing like you normally would do in a traditional gym. So I hadn't gone to the gym a few weeks. I went with a friend of mine on a Saturday, empty, and that bench press that was like 20-25 pound dumbbells went all the way up to 50 pound dumbbells. And I was surprised at the strength that I gained in such minimal time. A week later, I went back to the gym, did the same thing, was able to pull off 60 pound dumbbells on a bench press. And honestly, it's changed even the way that I work out. I literally would sit down between sets a minute and a half. Just because we're ongoing here nonstop, I literally finish one workout, and when I go to the gym, I do a set and I'm waiting 15 seconds max before I go into the next set, because I can't wait around for a minute and a half. Like, I'm not used to it anymore. And so that's my workout here every single day, Monday through Friday. At night, I push myself to do a second workout, whether that's run, whether that's walk, whether that's go outside and do kettlebell swing, step ups. I figure it out, but 45 minutes to an hour I do at night, so I do my 2 workouts a day. When I come here, I've made it pretty much a joke that after my workout, I tell my coach, hey, that was a good warm-up. What's the workout for today? And he looks at me like he wants to kill me, but it pushes him to kind of put me to do something else. Whether yesterday it was a step-up machine, or the day before it was running on the that machine back there, and getting on the assault bike, or going out with my cousin and running out half a mile outside. It's the constant push. Sometimes I'm at home and I'm like laying around. I'm like, what do I do? Like, I have a little bit of free time. Let me put in 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups. It's always getting that movement in. And I've honestly, as crazy as it sounds, I found my inner fire. And what caused me to start eating like I ate? I don't know. I was skinny till I was 6 years old, and it just went downhill from there. But now I've learned how to make this a lifestyle of eating right, working out. If I don't know what it is to not do it one day, because I've been on 75 hard and I'm on almost 60 days. So once 75 days ends, I feel like it's just gonna keep on going, because I can't just sit around a whole day. I feel like I'm kind of dying if I'm sitting, and my inner fire that I found was pretty much I fight with myself. I've because of 75 hard, I've been reading books. I've never read a book in my life. I can remember elementary school, middle school, high school, hey, do book reports. My book reports were based off of movies. I went to the bookstore, wrote down the author's name and title, and then I would watch a movie and do my book report on that. So I never read a book. Not that I couldn't read, I just didn't want to. And now I've been forced to read, and I've been reading really good books that has motivated me. And some of them have made me find, that motivation that has lasted. There's the bitch voice. The bitch voice is when you sit down and you're like, I got to work out today. But you always have that bitch voice that basically tells you, no, you worked out all week. Why do you have to work out today? Just take one day off, or leave it for later. And you know what happens when I've left it for later. For my whole entire life, I've left it for later. And that later, when you go to sleep and you look back, you're like, man, I could have just knocked out 45 minutes. It would have been done and over with. Instead, I wasted time on social media, on Netflix, and I pretty much lost the day. So to me, I don't look at the big picture. I look at it more as winning the day. I just got to get through today, get done what I need to get done today, and I'll focus on tomorrow. You can't focus on what's, I got 4 months ahead of me of nonstop to hit my goal weight. No, I don't have a goal weight now. My goal weight has been to be 225, because my lowest weight has always been 237. As of this morning, I'm 239.8, which is 2 pounds away from my lowest weight. And I made it a point that I want to get 10 pounds even lower than that, or 12 pounds lower than that, to 225, but I want to focus on how I look, so whether that be, building up muscle and weighing 240, I'd rather have that than weighing 225 and, just being skinny fat pretty much, So that's pretty much kind of where my journey has been, my life. My whole life I was raised in the Hispanic culture, even my friends, and so I was always taught, you know, when somebody picks on you, just laugh at it, laugh with them, you know, make fun of yourself. And pretty much that's how I was my whole entire life. So you can pick on me all you want, it doesn't affect me whatsoever. But now my wife was never raised in Hispanic culture. She's as white can be. And so you tell her something out of the ordinary and, you know, she freaks out, and I tell her you just can't take it to heart, or you need to find a way to, like, you know, change that about you. If you're, you know, whatever you're gonna, you have to find a motivation somewhere. And it could be based off of what, you know, people may tell you, what you read, but you need to do it for yourself. Because like I said before, like, you know, you can hear motivational speeches and honestly that only lasts a while. You need to have the heart and the dedication to keep going. I mean, it's not easy. I can sit here and tell you, oh yeah, it's easy. It's not. It's hard work. It's really hard work, and you just have to put in the effort. And honestly, you just gotta not focus on the big picture, because you may need to lose 100 pounds, you may need to only lose 20, you may need to lose 300. Just win the day. Whether you lost a pound in one day or you didn't lose anything, just listen, I'm crazy about weighing myself. I weigh myself at this point twice a day, and I know I shouldn't. I should just weigh myself once a week, but I have it there. I go to the bathroom and I literally am like, oh, I'm done in the bathroom. I may weigh less, you know, and it's just become a habit. But just focus on just doing that. Like, I had an accident 2 years ago. Car accident. Wasn't a horrible accident. Somebody hit me from behind. I had back pain, and I struggled with back pain for 2 years. I kept telling myself, you know, it's because of this accident. I lost my first 35, 40 pounds, and I've yet to feel back pain in the past 4 months. And I just made excuses for myself. A lot of people might tell you that they're heavy and they're happy. I can tell you, hey, I was happy, so if I'm happy, what does it matter? I wasn't happy. You know, I'm happy where I'm a happy person. I've never been into like a very negative mentality of like, oh, I'm overweight, I feel suicidal. Like, I've never been in that mind stage. But I know a lot of people struggle with that. A lot of people struggle with depression. You know, I've had depression because of my weight, but I don't let it affect me. I kind of like try to look the other way. So when I feel down, I look the other way. I do something just to kind of get my mind off of it. I've always done that. You know, brush it under the rug. And I kept telling myself, yeah, I'm a happy person, because around social gatherings, you know, whether it's family, friends, I'm always cracking jokes. I'm always the life of the party. I'm always having fun. But you know what it is to like just focus on food. Like, hey, I'm gonna go hang out with you guys. Let's go for beers and food. It was always about food and food and food, as opposed to, hey, let's do something fun. Let's go to do a workout together. You know, so I pretty much lied to myself my whole entire life, saying that I was happy when I really wasn't. Because if we're having a pool party, I'm not jumping in the pool, because I'm not in beach bod, you know, shape. And so, and that honestly, like, it feels like shit, you know, like, you know, while everybody's there hanging out and you're like, oh no, you know, I don't like the pool, I don't like the heat. Or even like when I was at my heaviest, like going to the fair, going to Disney World and standing in line and not knowing if you're gonna fit in this ride and be embarrassed in front of people. Like, it is tough, and it's something that a lot of people struggle with day by day. Like, it's crazy how it's so easy to just go through a drive-through as opposed to like making a healthy meal at home. And easy is not always the right choice.
Last name. All right, so just
a shout out to my wife, Amanda. Honestly, without her help, I wouldn't be where I'm at. You know, she's always believed in me, always pushed me. She doesn't come to CrossFit because she says she's not my cousin. But you know, honestly, she's always been by my side. And whatever decisions I've made in life to do certain things, she's always been there and helped me. So you know, she's been pretty much my rock and the person to kind of push me to do anything I've pretty much done in life. So gotta give a shout out to her. Shout out to freaking Fitness here at Weston. They have a Pines location. They've honestly helped me transform my life. Shout out to First Form. Without me taking that step and my coach over there, Meg, I don't think I would have taken that initial step to start my workout journey. You know, they kind of pushed me and guided me in the right path, and honestly, they're just kind of just like them, like, hey, you know, you're the one that's putting in the hard work, and it is true, but it's hard to put in the hard work when you don't have a guidance, you know, so you need that guidance, and I honestly recommend finding somebody that's gonna stick it out with you through your workouts. And sometimes you can find a friend that'll work out with you, you know, a couple times a week, but they may take some days off. And here, like, I have the same group of people I work out with every day. I have the coach that kind of pushes me every day. You know, right when I want to give up, you know, the music helps me. You know, the screaming and the yelling helps me, and it kind of just pushes me to keep going.